Hey everybody, it's JoJo Bennington. Glad to have you here. We know that the first video that we didn't take. We're not really sure what happened, but that's okay. So because we promised that we would do this, we are going to do it again. So we'll have a recording. So I want to welcome you to the Jumpstart Your Health for the Holidays, guilt-free. We're going to do a little bit of a presentation tonight. My name is JoJo Bennington. I'm a Certified Nutritional Consultant, and Michael Lantz will be here with me tonight also presenting part of the performance line. He is a 15-time triathlete, Ironman triathlete, so let me not leave that out, right? But before we start, let me just say first that we are not here to diagnose, treat, cure any illness, anything that's going on that way. All we are here to do is talk about the state of our food and what can go into the body to make us healthier. So, so you guys know what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about a company and a product called Isagenix tonight that has been here for 14 and a half years. They're out of Phoenix, Arizona. They've done $4 billion in sales. So you guys know, $4 billion in sales is a lot of money in 14 years, so we know that the product is quality. They spend millions and millions of dollars on testing raw materials, on making sure that each ingredient that goes in is the highest quality ingredient that it can be. Also on clinical studies. So not only do we have clinical studies backed up several times in weight loss, also in performance, and also in healthy aging. So lots of things going on inside this company. So I'm glad to see all you guys commenting. So that means obviously something's going right now. So I'm glad that you guys are there. But I've been here with this company for 11 years. And initially, when I was introduced to this, I just wanted to lose 10 pounds. I was having trouble struggling losing weight. And so I got on the system. I was introduced by this crazy mechanic guy who had just lost 50 pounds and was really excited. And so I was like, well, if it's good enough for him, I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. And I lost more than 10 in my first system, which was great. But it was what happened on the other side that was so important. My mental clarity, my cravings, my sugar cravings went away. My coffee addiction, which was serious, went away. All of those things that you think about afterwards, you don't realize how bad you felt. And then as I went through the system and I came through my first system, I really realized how bad I had felt before. It had nothing to do with the weight. It was about not fueling my body properly. And so what we really want to talk about is the fact that during this time of year, so from Halloween to New Year's Day, the average person will gain 7 to 12 pounds. So 7 to 12 pounds by January 1st. And then we go on a diet and we go, I'm going to do a New Year's resolution and to lose weight. So we've just decided to say, you know what, let's do it different this year. Instead of waiting till January 1st, why don't we start now? And instead of losing those 7 to 12 pounds, what if we could be in our skinny jeans for New Year's party, right? Woohoo, that would be an awesome thing, right? So we all have that pair of jeans in our closet that we don't fit into that we really want to be there. So what if by January 1st, that's something that we could work as a goal to? So we're excited to share some of the pillars, the main pillars of the system. And then because Mike is the performance athlete that he is, we want to talk about some of the performance lines. So peek your head in here and say hi to everybody. So Mike's back here. Before I was standing on a box because, you know, I'm 5'3" and he's like 7'3", so it's hard to get us both in the screen at the same time. But so let's think about the environment that we live in. Not only are we dealing with environmental impurities and bankrupt food, we live in the drive-through, we live on processed stuff that comes out of a box that we have no clue what's in it. It was made in a laboratory and it's a chemical. That's where we live every single day, eating that food. And we go on a diet and then we gain the weight back. And we go on a diet and we gain the weight back. And we just can't get past feeling terrible. Anybody know anybody who's fatigued all the time, never has any energy? That's why, the energy market is $1 billion industry. So let's talk about what happens when we put the body back into a self-repair mode. So we're not talking about a diet. This is not a diet, what we're talking about tonight. What we're talking about is how to put the body back into balance so it can get to that self-repair mode all on its own again. It knows what to do. It knows what to do. It just needs the proper fuel to be able to do that, right? So let's start at the cellular level. So if we think all the way down into our cells, where everything takes place. So a lot of times, this is the course of our system is that we get sick, we get a symptom, we go to the doctor gives us a drug, and we work with the symptom. But what if we could go back down into our cells and actually work with the cause? And so that's what we want to talk about. So let's start at the cellular level and work out, okay? Deal? So the first thing I want to talk about is our amazing product that we call Isogenesis. And inside of our little AM/PM pack, and we'll talk more about this pack, but inside this little pack, there's a little dark pill right there. I hope you can see it. There's 2 of them in here. And what that Isogenesis does is it's actually clinically proven to increase the highest level of catalase in our system. So catalase is an enzyme that actually goes in and repairs things. So if you Google catalase in anything, you'll see that sometimes when the body starts to break down, we're losing catalase enzyme. And to increase catalase enzyme actually heals the system. So when we think about putting something in that can actually put our body back into that self-repair mode at the DNA level, I want to show you guys like a really simple little thing. So imagine this is the end of our cell, and I don't know if you can see this, but this is a shoestring, and this is a little tipper cap on the end of our shoestring. This is a healthy cell. This is a healthy telomere. See that you're going to hear telomere a lot coming up in soon, because it's going to be a big, huge buzzword as we really start to look more into healthy aging. But this little tipper cap on the end, we're going to say is our telomere, and that covers our DNA. That's our protective cap over our DNA. Each time one of our cells divides, we lose a little teeny bit of that in that little cap, that little protective coating. And eventually what happens is our DNA starts to look like this. Our cells start to divide, and as they are dividing, we're losing that information, and as this starts to fray, now imagine our DNA looking like this. Well, we don't want our DNA to look like this. We want our DNA to look like this, healthy and whole. When our DNA gets so bad, it actually gets to a point where the cells cannot divide anymore, and the cell dies off. That's a scary thought. So when we can increase the catalase enzyme in our system, what if we could just get back to helping our cells get back to a more whole, balanced place where they're actually functioning correctly? That'd be cool, right? So let's go back inside this little pack is an amazing multivitamin. And what's great about our multivitamins is they actually break down in your system. So if you take them and stick them in a glass of water, they actually dissolve. That's a great test of how bioavailable a multivitamin is to your system. There's also, and omegas are very important to our system, especially as we're aging. So for cardiovascular health, for lung health, our omegas are triple tested to make sure there's no impurities, no crazy toxicity. We know what's floating around our ocean, so we make sure that there's no toxicity in there. Also, there's vitamin C, and vitamin C is very important for our immune system, especially this time of year as people are getting sick all the time, right? So, did I miss? Oh, and ageless, I did. Oh, did you? Ageless actives are important. So, CoQ10, resveratrol, and vitamin D3. So, I don't know if you guys know, but most people are vitamin D3 deficient. And as we're aging, CoQ10 and resveratrol is actually important for our cardiovascular system as we age, also for our brain. So what's cool is that you get this little pack, comes like this, you rip it in half, you take one in the morning and one in the evening, and it covers all of that. So now working from the cellular level out, sometimes in this environment when we eat bad food and we live in this crazy impure air, our water's bad, our food is bad, everything that we have around us, off gases, toxicity, what we need to go in and clean out our cells. So this is our impurity attacker. So our Cleanse for Life actually goes in and works at the body at the cellular level. This is not a poopy cleanse, okay? We think cleanse and we go, uh-oh, it's going to be one of those things where I need a novel and I'm going to have to be in the bathroom for 3 days. But that is not what this is. This works at the body at the cellular level. Most of the impurities that come out will actually flush through the urination process, which is our body's natural own filtration system. So key for weight loss, key for long-lasting weight loss, key for health, key for helping our cells be clean so you can actually absorb the nutrition that you're putting in. Do you think it would be important if we're going to put in this really good stuff that we can absorb it better? That's what this does. So what about the minerals that we're lacking? You know, we all need 60 to 70 minerals in our systems every day, and the majority of us get between 3 to 10. So do you think that maybe we're lacking? Imagine going to the gas station and putting in, 30% gas and 70% sugar and water. How far is your car going to go? Well, it's not going to go very far, right? But we do that with our bodies every day and then wonder, why do I feel terrible? Well, okay, so let's talk about minerals. Ionic Supreme is an important mineral supplement. So this is actually what sparks the cell. So right now we've repaired the cell, right, with our catalase enzyme and our isogenesis. We've cleansed the cell. Now let's spark the cell. So our Ionic Supreme is so important for mineral absorption, but it's also got adaptogens. So an adaptogen is so important to our system. A lot of people don't even know that they exist. But what happens is that they do exactly what their name is. They go into the system and they adapt to the environment. Well, your environment and my environment are completely different. So this adapts to what I need, whether it's oxygen and performance for our athlete, whether it's, happy juice for me who's now 50, right? So those things that we need to add in, this will actually, if you take it in the morning and you need to be energetic, it'll help lift you up. If you take it at night before you go to bed because you want to get some good restful sleep, it'll actually help put you down because it adapts to the environment that we're putting it in. This, you could not pry this away from me, okay? So this is probably, I think, it's hard to say which one's my favorite product, but I really believe that this is it, and I don't go a day without it.
As an athlete, you have to have this to recover. So on the regular program, 1 ounce a day is enough. You probably have more, do you?
I do.
I do 4 ounces a day, 2 in the morning, 2 at night. Sleep great. It helps me recover so well. And I'll cover more about adaptogens as an athlete, but you want this as an athlete.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so that's Ionic Supreme, our minerals and adaptogens. And then what about food, right? So we've cleansed, we've repaired, we've sparked, now we have to feed. So feeding the cell is so important. Well, what are we feeding it now? If we feed it a ho-ho, we're going to be ho-hos. Well, we don't want to do that, right? So we want to feed it the best quality nutrition that we can. So how many nutrients are in here?
Oh my gosh, there's like, I don't know, 1,000. No, there's not that many, but.
So 252 nutrients, right? Of everything that we need, of the highest quality whey protein. So undenatured whey is so important to the system, not only to help build lean muscle, but also to fuel our system. What's great about this is it has a balance of everything that we need. So between protein, carbohydrates, fats, amino acids, full amino acid complex. We can't talk enough about how we're all lacking amino acids and need to have more of them in our diet. But tastes great. Blend, kids love them. So if anybody out there has kids, please comment on the fact of how your kids will fight you for a shake, because kids know what they love. Kids know what feeds their body, right? So I am going to turn this over to Mike because I want him to talk about what happens to an athlete's body when you take that.
Okay, let's see. I want one more thing too.
Okay,
all right.
One more thing.
All right, as an athlete, this is my favorite product. All of them are good, but this is something that I consume 2, 3, 4 times a day. Some of these shakes, and it comes in various flavors. This one here is my favorite. It's chocolate mint. and I'm a chocolate.
Tastes like a Girl Scout cookie.
Oh my gosh, it's better than a Thin Mint. Girl Scout, way better for you. So as an athlete, your cells need minerals. When that muscle contracts, and obviously as an athlete, we contract muscles harder, right? And that's that ATP function. So if we can build lean muscle with this shake, with the amino acids and the minerals, there's 60 minerals in here. JoJo mentioned some of the other products that deliver additional minerals, but minerals is what makes that muscle go. Every athlete that I've ever enrolled and put on the system, within just a few days say, oh my gosh, I haven't felt this good in so long. I had the greatest workout. I posted just recently, a friend of mine is a marathoner, 29 now. And I bugged this young man for 4 years. And he said, dude, leave me alone, quit pestering me. I'm not changing. I said, give it 4 days, the system. Day 32, I hear back from him, and he said, thank you so much for pestering me for 4 years. He did a marathon and reduced his best time by 11 minutes. And he says, I'm in chocolate shake heaven. And so this is just one of the most perfect meals. The other great thing about our whey protein that's in here, most whey protein is from dairy that the cows have eaten GMO corn. That's important. See, farmers want to deliver the product the cheapest way possible, so they buy government subsidized genetically modified corn. Cows and corn don't mix. A cow would walk 10 miles through cornfield to get to grass. We get our source, and there's only 2% of the world's whey protein is produced our way. We get it in New Zealand. New Zealand, it's against the law to inject a cow with an antibiotic or a steroid. Our cows are grass-fed. They're not artificially inseminated, so they're only milked 6 months out of the year. The other 6 months, they're happy cows. They're out in the grass grazing. Through our cold filter process that John Anderson has created, the digestive enzymes in here are live. So you can go buy a whey protein that's been high heat pasteurized, genetically modified, cows that's been shot with antibiotics and steroids, and that goes in our bodies. Or you can get this and get a much higher utilization, net nitrogen utilization of the amino acids in our body. This is why at age 60, now the stat I'm going to give you is phenomenal, but it's true, and it's true. I've seen it many, many times, so I'm not making a medical claim, I'm just stating the truth. When we age, at about age 35, we start losing lean muscle mass, and so we have to work hard to keep it up. Now, as you age, like my age at age 60, if I just was a normal 60-year-old, am I normal?
No.
I am kind of ordinary, though. I would lose anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds of lean muscle a year. And that's why when you age, you see people get frail and small. I had a adrenal gland problem earlier this year that I finally got solved. And in the last 3 weeks, I have gone really hard training. Near as I can tell from the raw testing material I had, I have gained 4 to 6 pounds of lean muscle in 3 weeks. It's because not only do I put the shake in me, but I supplement with our just whey protein, Isopro. And so if you're an athlete, you have got to have this. The other beautiful thing too that JoJo didn't mention, that I will, because it's so nutritionally dense. There's like 240 calories. And so there's the 90 essential, 60 minerals, 30 vitamins, amino fatty acids, plus a whole lot more. Because of that, a serving size is only 240 calories. It will sustain your hunger from 3 to 5 hours. Now, where on earth can you eat a meal this balanced for 240 calories and not be hungry? You could go down and get a 1,000-calorie burger, fry, and Coke and pay like $11, $12, and an hour later, you're hungry. You can have this for like under $3 a serving, 240 calories, and not be hungry for 5 hours. That's why people lose weight. Did you want to say?
So there's your good visual, right? So we go eat bad food and it's got this much nutrition and this many calories, versus putting this nutrient dense shake in, you have this many calories with this much nutrition, right? So did I say that right? I do that backwards. I don't know. If I did, you guys know what I mean, right?
Right.
So, but the digestive enzymes and probiotics are so important to gut health also.
Oh, right, so, exactly.
We have so many people having gut issues, right? So to help with the gut, but think about gaining 4 to 6 pounds of lean muscle for somebody who's aging. Imagine the balance that gets recovered when you're able to put on some lean muscle, especially for the aging population. So that is a key important thing, especially if you have, aging parents, or you're the aging one, or
aging parent gains lean muscle, and if you're not aging and you want to lose weight, see that lean, that protein allows for a better metabolism, and so you burn more fat. So it's just an excellent food. Okay, the next product, I swear by this, Amped Nox. Nox for nitrogen oxide. It's a fruit and vegetable product. 2 hours before workout is optimum. And what it does is increase blood flow, okay, through and if you have a muscle that's contracting, you're working out hard and the muscle's contracting, it gets sore, it needs to be fed. It needs the blood to flow into that muscle to give it oxygen and nutrients, and this allows additional blood flow. It allows the blood to carry the oxygen and the nutrients through the blood vessel into the muscle. And that's what Amped Nox. I've had athletes that I put on this and they just flat swear by it in 1 or 2 sessions. So if you're an endurance athlete trying to increase VO2 max like me, works. If you're a power athlete, it works. If you're a non-athlete, it works.
It works.
And now if you're a guy, check this out.
Blood flow and oxygen,
Blood
you guys.
flow and oxygen. Is your wife listening, guys?
So, you can we've actually gone on and got little testers where you put your saliva on and it shows you the nitric oxide in your system. Almost every single person that we've tested, and I don't care who it was, regular person or athlete, they've shown bad nitric oxide. We put them on the Nox and we actually can see it improve. So important to cardiovascular health. If you think about what happens to your body when you increase blood flow and oxygen, it heals everything. So to get that in there and have that cardiovascular system functioning better and pumping, less stress on your heart muscle, right? When your cardiovascular system is working well. So, all right, I'm out.
I had a team member that had consumed Amped Nox that day, and I didn't, and we did that saliva test. Her oxygen levels were more than mine, and I'm an athlete. Just because she consumed the product that day and I didn't, so I know it works. All right, every athlete needs this, whether you're a power athlete or endurance athlete. It's Amped Power. And what it is a creatine-based product, and there's a proprietary blend in here. And what it does is increase blood volume. Okay, so if you got Amped Nox that increases blood flow, and you have a product that increases blood volume, when you exercise, it's putting more blood into that muscle, so you can work out harder. This year I took a year off from really endurance work and racing to build muscle strength. And I had one of my team members take me to the gym, and she ran me through a routine. And I mean, it was hard. My heart rate was jacked, and I got through about an hour, 30-minute workout. We did arms and legs. And I'm serious, when I was leaving, I was sore. And the next day I came back and she says, I'm going to show you some more. She goes, how do you feel? I go, I feel great. She goes, what? You're not sore? I go, no. Mike, you're 60 years old. If I ran a 60-year-old like you through that, they would walk the next day, they would be like, oh no, I can't. I didn't, because I put all these products in me, and I've been putting these products in me for 10 years, and so my body's a little more healthy. So Amped Power is the bomb. Did you want to say something? Oh, She is like my,
I'm like Vanna White.
like Vanna. I was just going to say Vanna, but I couldn't remember her name. Amp Recovery. BCAA, branch chain amino acids. There's 4. And the body doesn't produce naturally most amino acids. You have to consume them. These 4 branch chain amino acids in Amp Recovery is specifically for recovery. Now let me just give you a little analogy. Let's say my hands and fingers is a muscle. And when you work out hard, those muscles tear. And so I'm going to show like the gaps in between my fingers is muscle tears. And that's why you get sore. And when that muscle tear, not only do you get sore, it's because of inflammation. So what Amp Recovery does, as well as Ionic Supreme, and the Cleanse for Life, so when you can repair that, and so what happens during rest? That's when the muscle, like I say, if this is pre-workout, you work out, you stress it, and my hands are bigger afterwards, they fill in with muscle and you get bigger. That's how you get strong, is in rest and recovery. And so if I can recover faster as an athlete, I can work out harder and be ahead of the competition. Michael Kogan, one of the leading nutrition specialists in the world for athletes, told me at an event, because he's an isogenics guy, and he is like a strict scientist, and he put it to the test. He said 80 to 90% of anybody's performance, whether you're an athlete or a non-athlete, is nutrition-based. So if you're an athlete, you want to get the edge, put this food in you. And that's why my marathoner, who was thin, worked out, this guy was fast. Busted 11 minutes off of his marathon in only 32 days of the product. Wow. That is wow. And we hear that all the time. I'm not just blowing smoke. I mean, if I didn't. And so how I use the product is I start recovering while I'm using the product. I put it in my hydration, which we have a hydration product, Amped Replenish. Amp Replenish is... oh yeah, well...
Let's do that one.
Amp Hydrate. We have 2. They don't make Replenish.
No, they changed the name.
Yeah, Amp Hydrate, thank you. I've had a big supply here and I've got to use it. So Amp Hydrate is a carbohydrate base, but it also has minerals and it has electrolytes. And so I put this in my drink as I'm training with a scoop of Amp Recovery. And then when I'm done with my workout, I'll do another scoop of Amp Recovery. That's why I'm just recovering so fast. This before I go to bed at night, bam, recover, way better workouts.
You know, I use that Recover too when I'm having a stressful day, and it actually makes me feel better. But you know what? Let me just say real quick on this. So if you have your kids are doing any electrolyte drink that is, you know, other ones out on the market, they have high fructose corn syrup and dyes and all kinds of things in there that are not good for you. This is a better alternative to that. So if your kids are out playing ball, they're doing sports, they're skateboarding, whatever, this is a better alternative than what's in those little plastic bottles. So just as a side thought.
Okay, if you're an endurance athlete and you have gels, I've tried about every gel on the market, and they're so chock full of multidextrin. This does have multidextrin. This is our Amp Fuel, but it's got some blended so that it's easy on the stomach. It's like a applesauce texture. It's got other carbohydrates other than multidextrin, and it has amino acids. And so this, as you're fueling your body as you're racing, it's also recovering your body at the same time. And so I can't wait to put this to the test on some like 6-hour bike rides and things like that I do as a triathlete. Amp Fuel, just awesome.
Okay.
You wanted to add something to that.
Guys, okay, so performance athlete, yes. Weight loss person, no. So if you're really working to drop weight, then this is not a product for you. This is for our endurance athletes.
Okay. E-shots. The reason JoJo and I are like amped, 2 reasons. One, we had a chocolate before, and I'm going to let her talk to you about that, but we also had an e-shot. Isogenics is so consumer friendly, and they're looking out for our best interest and health. John Anderson, our food formulator, his goal in life was to, what was his goal? I mean, I'm drawing a blank. I got a brain freeze.
The world of...
Well, he wanted to free the world of physical pain. He wanted to just improve everyone's health. And so they saw that so many people were putting these high sugar, poor type of caffeine products in them. I won't mention their names, but like if you were if you went to rock concerts, that's kind of a clue. And so they created an E-Shot. E-Shot is it has Yerba Mate, and it has a natural caffeine from green tea. Natural is better for the body. Caffeine isn't by nature necessarily evil for the body, as long as it's in moderation. But the beauty of this, 30 calories, hardly any sugar, and it has these adaptogens in it. So you get this natural boost in energy, but you don't get to crash. And you don't have to, like on the other product up here, I got to have some more, I got to have some more. I mean, I had an athlete that was not only drinking tons of coffee in the morning, he was, throughout the day, he was so dragging, he had to put all those other drinks, and he went to E-Shots 2 a day. He has lowered his caffeine level. He's not as jittery. He feels way better. So the way athletes use this in 2 forms. Some athletes will put this in their body before a workout. Like if they're tired in the morning, get up groggy, they'll kind of get a boost to get into their workout. Because I'm pretty energetic in the morning. I'm an early person, so I use this later in the day for recovery, as well as to get me a little energy boost. So for me and many other people too, I try to consume about 75% of my calories by noon each day, and then it gives me the rest of the day, so I'm really loading up. I mean, I'm exercising, I'm loading up all my calories in the rest of the day. I'm just trying to maintain that balance of blood sugar. But for me, even later in the afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, my blood sugar starts to drop. I get a little bit tired. That's when I take an E-Shot. It boosts me, and then I don't have the bad carbohydrate cravings at night, like potato chips. Like, I love salt and vinegar chips. I'm not going to lie to you. But I don't have as many now. E-Shots is the bomb. Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, well, you know what? So for me, because I am very caffeine sensitive, if I did any of those other energy things, they would make me jittery. I would feel bad. I almost feel like anxious, like I want to crawl out of my skin. And then once it would wear off, I would totally crash and feel awful. And so that does not happen with these. It gives me just great, even energy, mental clarity, and I don't get that weird jittery feeling, and I don't crash. And
I'll let you do that one too.
Oh,
So,
I was
are we
going
done
to
with
go.
these
Oh, you
shots?
know what? I was just going to say, since we're
Okay.
talking about caffeine,
Okay, caffeine.
let's talk about this. Because so when we talk about not having jitters, now if I went to any little local coffee shop and had a cup of coffee, I would feel jittery and anxious, just like if I took an energy shot from somewhere else. So I actually
Before this used to
given up.
drive me crazy.
I actually had to give up coffee because not only was it hurting my stomach and giving me some acid issues, but it was also really making me feel jittery and anxious. So I gave that up. But when I went back, when this came out, this ice of coffee, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this. But then I realized what they had done. And not only did they add MCTs and trace minerals and things, so it's actually really creamy. It tastes amazing. And guess what, you guys? No acid, no jittery feeling. I have a ton of people who had to give up coffee, who have now been able to go back to drinking coffee because they just missed their morning routine.
pH neutral.
Right? And
Everything's pH
yes.
neutral.
And it's not totally acidic because the pH balance is at the level of what your body should be. So, ice of coffee, you guys. Bye.
I don't consume this. My wife does. My wife is dairy intolerant. She didn't test good on whey protein at all. And so for a few years before Isogenics developed a dairy-free shake, she went out on the market, and all the dairy-free shakes that she bought, she didn't like the taste. They were gritty. Finally, Isogenics did it, because not only do you got a dairy protein, 22 grams,
Yes.
but you got the minerals that John put in all of these shakes. And so it's the best dairy-free shake on the market.
Full amino acid complex.
Full amino acid complex.
Which you never see.
That means that you can
shake.
gain some bank.
You never see that in a dairy-free shake, so that makes it a key factor and important. And the vanilla chai dairy-free shake is the bomb.
We have some dairy-free bars, meal replacement bars. We also have dairy bars. I have some here, but I didn't bring them in the room. And so we have the dairy-free or chocolate peanut butter, and this is chocolate berry bliss.
They're
Both
so
really good.
All right, let's do chocolate.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, you're gonna do protein snacks, you
Protein snacks, chips. I mean, they're whey thins, they're crunchy, but it's pure whey protein. It comes in 2 flavors, barbecue and then a cheddar or a blue
sour cream and cheddar.
sour cream and cheddar. Now, I like to scoop these with hummus. These are really good.
So what's great about that is a lot of times we look at snacks being sugary, but these are savory. So for me, who's a crunchy, salty person,
Me too.
This
Way good.
works way better for me.
Yep.
So, but here you talk about Ice Delights. You love them.
Oh my gosh, Ice Delights. They come in boxes of 30, 50 calories, but it's got this amino acid, and chocolate naturally, it boosts brain chemistry. In a clinical trial with these chocolates, where they had a group that did not consume this 50 calories an hour before they went to a restaurant, and they had a group that consumed this an hour before they went to the restaurant. Here's the deal. The group that did not have the Ice Delight that went to the restaurant ate 100% more food than the group that did have. In other words, the group that had this little 50 calorie little deal right here. Let me look at it. Let me get it right. Ooh, Ice Delight. Was there any more?
Yeah, that's it. We're good. I had one on our first videotaping, right? So
Well, I'm going to go ahead and eat
good.
that.
But you know he can eat it. So.
Because, like I said, they come in boxes of 30. I eat 4 of these a month.
Okay, so what's important about that is, I'm a chocolate person. And so when I would snack on chocolate, because I really love dark chocolate, I could eat a whole bag. But with those, I eat one and I'm satisfied. And then I would rather eat a whey thin and have a savory snack anyway. So I think we've done good.
Well, I haven't shared my story.
Oh, you better share your story.
I know I have a
so
little
this
cheat
is
sheet.
Michael Lantz, 15-time Ironman triathlete.
10 plus years ago, on the heels of my dad dying. He died in my arms of lung cancer. My dad was a big guy. He did not eat very well. And I made a choice right there that I was not going to go through my life and not be without choices. See, my dad lost hope too, those last month of his life. And so I realized that I needed to do something because I was 254 pounds, tired. I was a full-fledged CPA at the time, sitting behind a desk all day, and I was a golfer. I had no endurance strength. Dad died. I started to look into health and fitness, and I discovered on my own 2 things. One is our food supply nutritionally bankrupt. Number 2, toxicity in our foods. So on my own, I had discovered that, but I didn't know a solution. So I'm projecting that out. I'm looking for a solution, can't find it on the internet. And in comes my office. One of my clients was JoJo's sister, Sherry. And Mike, how you doing? I'm starting to explain all this. And she says, I think I have a solution for you. Went to a meeting, heard Dave MacArthur speak. Drove home that night, and I said, I'm going to do that. So I go on the program, the 30-day system. Amazing results. After just a week, my energy level shot so high. That first cleanse day, I'm not going to lie to you, it was hard, but my body was like purging all this stuff out. I consumed 6 diet sodas a day. That was my water. I didn't know it was a diuretic. I just thought diet meant I wasn't going to gain weight. Wrong. There's If you look at the correlation of diet soda or regular soda consumption and overweight people, they just mirror each other. There's like a 98% correlation. So when I go on this program, man, after a week, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. Dropped 50 pounds, felt wonderful. And that's when I discovered Ironman TriAthlete. So 14 months, because this is the first product I consumed, the shake. 14 months after doing this, I finished my first triathlon, which was an Ironman in Arizona. Now, as a former CPA, any CPAs watching this, it was on April 15th, 2007. So it was like Freedom Day. Freedom, I'm 50 years old, racing an Ironman with full health. It's turned my complete life around. I'm so grateful. Do you want to take it home, Miss JoJo?
Sure. And realize, you guys, that was at 50, he ran his first Ironman. Now he's done 15, and you just turned 60. So is that incredible? But well, so we've talked to you about the system tonight that we've been working with for 11 years. We fully believe in this. We know what this can do to your body. When you decide that you want to do this holiday season different than how we've done it in the past, let's not gain that 7 to 12 pounds during our holiday season this year. Let's do this differently.
Let me make a comment about that. This is a testimonial, okay, and it's compliant. Every Thanksgiving, I gain 4 or 5 pounds. Why? Because I have 2 or 3 pies on Thanksgiving Day. I love pie. I love pumpkin pie. I love chocolate pies. This is my one day to splurge. And so I will gain that weight, and then I go on a 2-day cleanse and lose it all. Now, that's probably not healthy, but it's okay. And throughout the holiday season, guilt-free, and that's why we call the name of this guilt-free, because you could go to a party, so you're on the system, and I've had people start, oh, Mike, I'm going to a party tonight, what can I eat? I says, eat the whole house if you want. We don't care, because you're going to put the superfood in you, and it's going to work. And so I can almost guarantee if you use the program right, you can go to holiday parties, you can imbibe, you can eat, and either you won't gain any weight during it, or you'll actually, in most cases, lose weight during the holidays. That's my promise to you.
Yes. So that's key, is to know that we don't want to live inside of a box, but we want to be healthy. And so during this season, we can absolutely do this a different way, where not only are you still able to have your holiday meals and your fun, and you're also able to put in good nutrition on the other side, and instead of gaining that weight, actually lose it and be more towards your resolution or your goal on January 1st. And so we just invite you to join us, and hopefully this was helpful, and I'm sure you guys have a ton of questions, and if you do, please post them in the feed and we'll be able to get back to you and answer those. And
invite your friends to watch. We'll keep the video up for like 10, 11 days.
Yeah, I think that would be good, so you guys could go back and watch it. And we have a community of support and coaching, and we have doctors, nurses, nutritional consultants, performance athletes, regular people who've gone through the system, who understand it really well, that are here to support. And so we just want to, we believe in this so much, and we feel like it was a gift that was given to us. And so during this holiday season, we want to give this gift back to you guys, and know that you can have better health. So get back to the person who invited you here, and we just invite you to join us and do things different this year. Yep. Oh, and during this, while you're doing the holiday challenge, Isogenics actually has a Nice Body Challenge that you can join. And once you complete your Nice Body Challenge, they give you back $200 in free product. So, I mean, it's kind of like
$600 a year. You could go through it 3 times a year. It's awesome. If you're a husband and wife, that's double that, $1,200 a year.
And you get a t-shirt. So anyway, love you guys. Thank you so much for being on. We appreciate you. And so because the first video didn't work out right, I know we went a little late tonight. And so thank you for hopping on and watching. Yep. And next time we'll be better. Round 2, technology will be better for us. Yep. So thanks, guys.
Happy holidays.